everyone. Welcome back to Novel Idea. My name is Dia. Today I am going to be doing a week in review. Okay, so I finished up middle grade March, and the first one was The Secret Horses of Briar Hill. This is by Megan Shepherd. This is about children during World War II who are sent to like a manor house outside of London where they can convalesce from tuberculosis. No one is expected to survive, and most of them are actually already orphans anyway, but they have two nuns that take care of them there at the convalescence home. One of the newest kids there thinks that she sees winged horses in the mirrors. Her new best friend is the oldest child there, and she is also the most sick. And she listens to all of the stories and looks at all of the drawings that the youngest little girl does. The reason that I almost DNF'd this is because of the pettiness between the rest of the children. There's one boy in particular that he's a bully, and there's nothing ever done about it. Maybe because they're all dying and so they don't want to do anything. So I don't want to tell you anything more about it because I don't want to ruin it for anybody that does want to read it. But for me, this book was just okay. The next one is The Beatrice Prophecy by DiCamillo. This was a reread for me. I read this about 3 years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And my daughter just bought it and sent it to me kind of out of the blue. And so I had it, and it just felt right to read it again. And I loved it just as much as I did the first time. DiCamillo just has a way of weaving a story that is both magical and very poignant at the same time. So the Beatrice Prophecy, we're following Beatrice, and she is on an adventure, on a mission of sorts, and along the way she meets quite the cast of characters, one of which is a very angry goat, but is also a little bit of a fairy godmother. And I just really love this book. The next one that I finished was Do or Die by Jenn McKinlay. This was a buddy read with Michelle over at Books Cause Insomnia, and it was our second one in the Library Lovers series, and we are enjoying reading these together. I have book 3, she has book 3. We're gonna start, I think Monday is our plan, and we're just having fun. So we're gonna read them till we stop having fun. This one we didn't enjoy quite as much as the first one. The things were just a little bit more contrived, very easy to figure out. We didn't like some of the new characters very much. We felt like they were a little too cliche. So we didn't love this one as much, but we have a new puppy in the mix and we really like him. And so we are excited to have him on board, and we think that the next one is going to be back to what we loved about the first one. So we're hopeful anyway. That's what we're hoping for. The next one that I finished was City of Brass. This is by S.A. Chakraborty and is the first book in the David trilogy. So I'm reading this with Jack over at Spread Book Joy, and we both just fell in love with these characters. We are having so much fun in this world. It is action-packed. It is still enough world building to where we don't feel lost. It's giving us all of the things that we love in fantasy, and we like that it is Middle Eastern inspired. We are enjoying the banter and the really quippy one-liners that are going back and forth between the characters. And so this is about a girl who believes she is human with some special magical powers, and those magical powers happen to be to know when somebody is sick and to, with a touch, give them a sense of well-being and maybe even help them heal. She accidentally calls a djinn and some enemies along with him, and she is whisked away to an invisible magical land, and unbeknownst to her, the land is not going to welcome her or the djinn very kindly. And the reason for that is because the current rulers of that land are the ones who wiped out her tribe. The story just basically unfolds from there. She has people who befriend her. She has enemies that she is not sure who they are. She is falling in love, and there's, you know, all of these other things. We have so many questions. There were so many twists and turns and big reveals, and it was a lot of fun. So we've heard that Kingdom of Copper, which is book 2, is even better. So we are excited to continue on in the trilogy. The next one that I finished was Wildwood Whispers. This is by Willa, Reece. And this, I kind of expected it to be like almost like a cottage core, like Greenwich, but still cozy. That's kind of what I expected it to be. It's not like that. It is witchy, it is Greenwich, but it is much more of a mystery story, of a kind of suspense, drama kind of story. So this is about a set of foster girls who, one has been a foster child her whole life. One is new to the foster care system, and the one that has been there for a long time kind of takes the other one under her wing, and they become best friends, more than best friends, family, and they watch out for one another, love each other. You know, one is good at cooking, the other one is good at earning money. They just take care of one another until one day one of them dies, and before she does, she makes the one who lives make sure to take her back and bury her next to her mother in her hometown. So the story is taking place in the Appalachian Mountains, and it has a lot of Appalachian lore. I actually ended up enjoying it. I thought I was going to DNF it when I started, because the first chapter in particular is mainly about their time in foster care and kind of how they get wrapped up with one another. And it was not what I thought I was getting into. So it was a good one. I enjoyed it. Then I finished Remainders of the Day. This is by Shaun Bythell, and he is a bookseller in Scotland. It's a nonfiction book, and it is a literal diary. So it takes place from February of one year to February of the next year, and he does everything. It's almost like a commonplace book, because what he does is he writes down how many customers he had during the day, what the total till was at the end of the day, how many books were sold, if he had to make a trip to go pick up books. And then he introduces us to all these little characters in very short bites. And some of those characters are absolutely hilarious and just so quirky. And so there were some really funny moments, but for the most part, this didn't thrill me in any kind of a way. It was just a nice, easy kind of a book, and I really enjoyed his friends. But overall, not my favorite book about books. Lastly, I finished Absolute Surrender. This is by Andrew Murray, and this was one of my Lenten reads. So I picked this one up because I couldn't get a copy of the group read. Absolute Surrender is about just exactly what it says, but this was not my favorite Andrew Murray book. I've read a couple of others by him, and I do overall just really think he's giving you some very solid scriptural backed advice, teaching on what it means to be fully surrendered and how that happens and all of that. But it's something that I've read before from him. So my favorite book, Abide in Christ, and that one was earth-shattering for me. I just really loved it. But a lot of what he covers in Absolute Surrender is in Abide in Christ. So this it just felt derivative to me and like nothing really new, but it was still really wonderful to be reminded of these things. And it was still really wonderful to spend my mornings in those places of surrender. So throughout the month, I managed to do all of my participation things that I expected to do. I participated in Middle Grade March. I participated in March Mystery Madness. I participated in March of the Mammoths. I did my Lenten reads. I did Irish Readathon. I did Dubathon. Let's see, was there another one? I thought there was one more. Books and Lala has a buzzword thing that she does for the entire year, and each month is a different buzzword. So I got to do that one as well for March. So all of those, plus the buddy reads that I did, and it was just a really great month. I would love to hear, what was your favorite book that you read in March? Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. I will be back on Tuesday because Tuesday is my 1-year BookTube anniversary. We are going to be doing a giveaway for 2 books to 2 different people. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to go into the description box, and my email is in the description box. So if you want to be entered into the drawing for those 2 books, send me an email. You have to include your mailing address so that I can send you a book, and just send me an email that says enter me in the drawing, and then on Friday next week I will do a drawing, and we will send out, we'll draw some winners and send out 2 books. So you'll have 2 chances. I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so excited to celebrate with you. I'll be back Tuesday with the BookTube anniversary tag. And yeah, that's it. That's everything I've got. Thanks again, everyone. Like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to.